It's me again. So as I said, I'm going to do the Myers-Briggs personality test. I've taken it before, and so far I've gotten the same personality type, which was the INTP. Uh, and I was, wondering. Every few years, I take the test again, and I just wonder like where I'm gonna end up at. Because some things about personalities, like they're very immutable, like you're always going to be like that. Some things they do change, and sometimes you only figure out which are which by going through something. And yes, I know that this test, there's a lot of like bullshit going on. I'm not holding it in a pedestal. It's pretty much the same way that I see all the other tools that we have to deal with like our personalities. It can be this one, there's the Enneagram, there's like astrology, there's tarot, there's all of those, and they are all for me. They all have their own functionality. I'm not really a believer of things, but you don't have to be a believer of anything specifically for you to just, because usually sometimes like it is the reading into the test that kind of like gives you some insight into your life and makes you think and wonder and all that. So let's start. So anyways, first question is, you regularly make new friends, and you have seven spheres. You have agree here, and you have disagree, and then you have one in the middle, which is kind of like a neutral. And you should try to avoid answering neutral as least as possible, because usually this gets in the way of you getting like a result. And then you have the degrees to which you agree. Okay, this one is going to be like a full-on disagree, because I don't make friends usually. I haven't made friends, if I make like one friend every couple of years, like that's a lot. Complex and novel ideas excite you more than simple and straightforward ones. I would say that I agree, but I won't say okay, the novel ideas, like they really, because it depends too. You're talking, for example, about writing. Usually the complex and novel ideas, they do excite me more. So I'm going to say that I agree, but it's not going to be the biggest agree. It's going to be the agree in the middle. I think I'm learning to be more involved in like more straightforward things, simpler things. They're kind of like what daily life is all about. Anyways, usually feel more persuaded by what resonates emotionally with you than by factual arguments. I'm gonna say disagree. I won't say like the biggest disagree, because I think I've been more in touch with my emotions lately, past couple of years. So it's definitely there. So I'm still like facts still like resonate more with me, but there's like more of an opening for me to just think about something if it has an emotional appeal. Your living and working spaces are clean and organized. Can I say neutral? Clean, yes. Organized, exactly, because like if you say clean, I'll say yes, I do keep things clean, but organized, I'm gonna say a small agree for this one. No, can I go neutral on this one? Because as I said, clean, yes, organized, not so much. I'm gonna go neutral on this one. Usually stay calm, even under a lot of pressure. I'm gonna go agree, not the biggest agree, like the medium agree. I do work very well under pressure. That's historically been a thing for me, but I've also have cracked under pressure in the past, so I have to account for like those situations as well. You find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting. I'm gonna I'm gonna go with more agree. It's daunting. It's not that it's daunting, it's just that I don't wanna do it. So I'm gonna go with a small agree. Let's go. You prioritize plans and plan tasks effectively, often completing them well before the deadline. I don't know about before the deadline. Yes, I got know well before the deadline. Like that is, something relevant. Actually, okay. I'm gonna go with like a small agree, because I can't prioritize and plan things effectively. I can also not do that at all. So it really varies. I'm wondering if I should get like the neutral one on this one. No, I'm gonna go with like a small agree. Okay. People's stories and emotions speak louder to you than numbers or data. No, I'm gonna go with a medium disagree on that one. Uh, you like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. I'm gonna go with a big disagree. I'm gonna go with like a medium disagree. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. This was the case when I was younger, but not so much anymore. I'm gonna go with a small disagree. No, a small agree. Okay, hold up. I think I got the wrong thing. I small disagree. Okay. Even a small mistake. Okay, I'm gonna go with a small disagree because I'm doing better, but like, don't know how much better. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone and find interesting and striking up a conversation. Very strong disagree. Okay. You are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. Going to be a small disagree. Lastly, actually, like, this is not. You're not too interested. I'm gonna go with a medium disagree because I actually do like talking about interpretations. Actually, I meant a huge disagree. You prioritize facts over people's feelings when determining a course of action. Agree. Hold up. I was taking the medication wrong. When I was taking like one last pill every morning. But we're gonna fix this starting tomorrow, so it's all's good. Anyways, you often allow the day to unfold without any schedule at all. Huge agree. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. Be a small agree. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Strong disagree. You enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches. Be a medium agree. You prioritize being sensitive over being completely honest. No. Would be a okay. I honesty has always been really important for me, and I've always been like honest to a fault. I've been I've been thinking more about, maybe not necessarily, it's not that I'm not being honest, but like the way I'm presenting information sometimes. So instead of a huge disagree, it's going to be a medium disagree. You actively seek out new experiences and knowledge areas to explore. It should be a medium agree. It used to be more, like I used to actually go out my way to find out more things, but like lately, past couple of years, life has been kind of, not life, I think it's just me. You approach worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. It'll be a slight disagree. You enjoy solitary hobbies and activities more than group ones. Huge agree. You cannot imagine yourself writing fictional stories for a living. A huge disagree. That is pretty much what I want. Yeah, you favor efficiency in decisions, even if it means disregarding some emotional aspects. It's going to be a medium agree. It's going to be a medium agree. You should be more like a huge agree, but like right now I'm more in tune with people's thoughts and emotions and feelings and all that. It's not really a bad thing because ultimately, the thing about life is not just reaching, a certain goal. It's just getting there, because you're going to spend most of your life going there. So you have to find enjoyment from that as well, from the process, not just the final product. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. I will go for medium, yes. Okay, so in disagreements, you prioritize proving your point over preserving the feelings of others. This is going to be a huge agree. It's something I'm working on, but I don't think I've been able to work on it enough for me to just say that I have dealt with it. Usually wait for others to introduce themselves first at social gatherings. Agree. It's going to be a smaller agree. You used to do. Yeah, I don't know if it should be a small or a medium. Okay, your mood can change very quickly. Agreed, I am bipolar, so there is that. You're not easily swayed by emotional arguments. I'm gonna go with a medium agree because you should be huge agree. But like right now, I'm as I said, I'm more in tune with people, and because I'm realizing that people is kind of what it is all about. You know, it's not just about you and about achieving things. You know, like people are going to be a part of that, so you should be kind of like pliable to their pains, I guess. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment, so it should be very light agree. You enjoy debating ethical dilemmas. A huge agree. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Huge disagree. Huge disagree. You become bored and lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I would say a small disagree. When facts and feelings conflict, you usually find yourself following your heart. Would be a small disagree. I'm thinking about the become bored with interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Actually, I like theoretical discussions. You find it challenging to maintain a consistent work or study schedule. Okay, like a mild agree. You rarely second guess the choices that you've made. A mild agree. Your friends would describe you as lively and outgoing. I'm going with disagree. Kind of. I mean, lively, yes, outgoing, not so much. You are drawn to various forms of creative expression, such as writing. Agree. You usually base your choices on objective facts rather than emotional impressions. Agree. You have a to-do list for each day. Disagree. Not a huge disagree, just like a most, because I do have things I want to do. You rarely feel insecure. I go with small agree because honestly, yeah, I think getting older involves like getting more sure of yourself. At least that's how it's been feeling like it's been for me. Avoid making phone calls. I might disagree. You enjoy exploring familiar ideas and viewpoints? Yes. Okay, I think we're getting near to the end. You can easily connect with people you have just met. Disagree. If your plans are interrupted, your priority is to get back to track as soon as possible. Agree. Small agree. You're still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. This would be like a small disagree. I think it should be like a small agree, but like so thankfully we moved past that. You're not interested in discussing theories on what the world could look like in the future. Be a small disagree. Because I like, you know, theorizing about things, but it's just that sometimes you get too close to the actual thing, and you know, it just gets frustrating. You know, like, yeah, it would be cool if the world was like this. Very likely that it will be. So we're just setting up, creating this kind of like pattern that is going to lead to our like ultimate disappointment. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Disagree. I think that it would be a stronger disagree. But you know, I gotta be realistic. You know, like I have mental health struggles, so you know, yeah, unfortunately that is kind of the case. But I can make the best out of it. You know, even when I'm going through it. When making decisions, you focus more on how the affected people might feel than what's most logical or efficient. Yeah, disagree. Okay, we still have more. I think it's like 16 questions already. I think this is going to be the last of the 16. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts is going to be small agree. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take for them to feel disappointed in you. Mild disagree. You love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Agree. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. Disagree. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. Disagree. If your decision feels right to you, you often act on it without needing further proof. I will be a slight disagree. Okay, more. You often feel overwhelmed, will be I disagree, because it's not that often anymore. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. There's going to be a medium disagree. You prefer tasks that require you to come up with creative solutions rather than follow concrete steps. 100% agree. You are more likely to rely on emotional intuition than logical reasoning when making a choice. Disagree. You struggle with deadlines. I'm gonna go neutral on this one. I don't struggle, but I also don't not struggle. You feel confident that things will work out for you. Disagree. I that is kind of a tricky one because I think I'm gonna go neutral on this one as well, because I don't expect the best, but I also don't expect. Okay, let's see the results. Let's see if I'm gonna get a different one than I've gotten. Nope, it's the logician, the INTP slash A. So I got the same one that I've gotten like ever since I first got this task back when I was 17. I was kind of wondering if like this was going to change, because like I feel like I've changed as a person since the last time I took this test. But no, I always have this this thing of like, okay, is it going to be different today? Is it not? How is it going to be? And I'm gonna go through that. So the personality type is logician, and also I do like the glasses and hair, kind of like it has looked like me at different points in time. There's that. Okay, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity had its own reason for existence. That's by Einstein. Shit. As an INTP logician, you possess a unique blend of intellectual curiosity, analytical prowess, and a penchant for abstract thinking. Your mind is a playground of ideas, constantly exploring complex concepts and seeking to understand the underlying principles of the world around you. You approach life with a rational, logical mindset, preferring to rely on facts and reason rather than emotions or conventional wisdom. Your insatiable thirst for knowledge drives you to delve deep into subjects that capture your interest. You're not content with surface level understanding. Instead, you strive to grasp the intricacies of systems and theories, often developing innovative solutions to complex problems. This intellectual depth, combined with your ability to think outside the box, sets you apart in both personal and professional spheres. This is very much like type 5. So maybe I am still, type 5 first. And they have animations now. Look. So personality traits. So this could have kind of changed. I'm gonna check how it is. I am like 80% introverted. I am 89% intuitive. I am 70% thinking, 61% perspecting, and 61% turbulent. So this might have changed. So 80% introverted. You likely prefer fewer yet deep, meaningful social interactions and feel drawn to calmer environments. I kind of, yes, I guess so. Yeah, the results. Okay, they send me the results. While your cognitive abilities are undoubtedly a strength, they can sometimes lead to challenges in the social realm. You may find yourself more comfortable in the world of ideas than in emotional or social situations. Your tendency to analyze everything, including social interactions, can sometimes make you appear detached or aloof to others who don't understand your thought processes. Yes, I'm guessing. As an INTP, you value independence and autonomy highly. You prefer to work at your own pace, following your own interests and methods. This independence can be a double-edged sword. While it allows you to pursue passions without constraint, it can also lead to difficulties when you need to conform to external structures or deadlines. Learning to balance your need for intellectual freedom with practical demands of life is a key part in your personal growth journey. I mean, if you say so. Okay, the second drawing is not really an animation. I don't know. I feel like this speaks both to like a version of myself that has existed. I don't know if it applies to me right now. And I think that it's kind of hard for me to tell where I am at, because there's been certain environments I haven't really been, a part of. I haven't really had, there's certain interactions with people that I haven't really been having lately, and as a consequence, I don't really know if like this applies to me or not, anymore. But yeah, so your career path. In your professional life, you try environments that challenge your intellect and allow you to explore complex problems. Fields such as scientific research, software development, and data analysis, or philosophical inquiry often appeal to your logical systematic approach. You excel at spotting consistencies, developing theoretical models, and finding innovative solutions that others might overlook. I wonder if I actually, change my major to philosophy, if I'm gonna start feeling more like this that I'm feeling right now. Because also I think that there's a lot of like academia to this particular personality type, and I'm not as involved in academia at this point in time, and that's not, I'm planning on changing that next year. So until then, let's see what I can do. However, your career may not always be straightforward. Oh, I like this. Your diverse interests and dislike for routine can lead you to explore various fields before settling on a direction. You may also struggle with the more mundane aspects of work life, such as adhering to schedules or dealing with office politics. Finding a role that offers both intellectual stimulation and enough flexibility to accommodate your working style is crucial for your job satisfaction and long-term career success. I like this because I am living this. I am. Get the full report to unlock these results and include them in your personality analysis. Do I have to pay for this? That's very right now. But yeah, but I do like the thing about it not being straightforward, because it hasn't been straightforward for me, and sometimes I feel like I might be just, fucking around. I'm not, but it feels like this sometimes. It is $34.99. Oh, there is a lot. Your relationship superpowers, relationship pitfalls, like you have to pay $34.99 for them too, for you to see them. And also, what energizes you, what drains you. So influential traits. There's resilience, confidence, grit, and sense of control. Confidence, grit, resilience, and control, I can kind of see them. So your strengths. Highly reflective. You regularly reflect and question yourself, enabling you to gain deeper insights and greater personal clarity over time. Inventive thinking. Your imagination allows you to creatively approach life challenges with fresh ideas, increasing your potential to overcome roadblocks. Embracing complexity. Rather than fearing complicated ideas over certain situations, you pursue and accept the possibilities they offer for growth. Open to self-improvement. You're receptive to new methods, ideas, criticisms, actively seeking ways to better understand yourself and grow. Seeking authenticity. You're committed to remaining genuine and true to your own principles, even when this means going against societal pressure or majority opinions. Comfortable being alone. Your contentment with solitude makes your personal growth journeys such as learning and reflection easy and fulfilling. Sure. Usually I read this and I have like a lot of insights. I'm like, yeah, this is that. This feels all very. It feels like, let's say there's generic and there's like norm, like conventional. This is like a step above generic and conventional, but it hasn't really reached that point where I'm like, yes, that is me. I see this in myself. Anyways, your weaknesses. Let's see if I get anything from here. Overanalyzing minor decisions. By intensely scrutinizing even small decisions can start progress and miss out on meaningful opportunities. I honestly don't think I am doing that so much anymore, honestly. I kind of have learned to leave the past in the past, and that's been great for me, for various reasons. This has been one of them. Difficulty expressing emotions. Your habit of rationalizing your feelings can create a barrier distancing you from deeper emotional understanding of yourself. This is actually an interesting way of putting it, that like if you understanding people is understanding yourself, and then if you're not really understanding yourself, you're kind of like compromising your chances of like being kind of like a best version of yourself. But I would say that while I do, I feel like I don't rationalize my feelings anymore. Not to the degree that I used to do when I was younger. I think that I'm processing them. Yeah, I think I am. I've been processing them lately. I mean for a couple of years now. So I don't think that I'm at disadvantage here. Lost in daydreams. Okay, this one before I read this. Yes, that one kills me. You may frequently drift into thought, losing connection with your present reality and delaying meaningful action towards personal goals. Struggling with routines. Maintaining consistent habits can be particularly challenging for you, limiting your personal progress. Stubborn skepticism. Your critical thinking sometimes evolves into skepticism, prompting you to dismiss valuable insights or helpful guidance as too hastily. Yes, I do have a tendency of being skeptical of things, and yes, I will say that it's an interesting thing. Saying, looking at your skepticism and being like, that can be kind of like a negative, not for its own sake, but because you're just skipping through stuff that could be valuable. And it's interesting because like right now I can look back and be like, yes, I have definitely skipped on some stuff in the past, and that was bad because like there was value there, and I really didn't. I didn't really do my best to get to utilize those possibilities. But I think that I think that right now, like I'm doing okay in terms of taking everything into account and not dismissing it hastily. Neglecting self-care, whether embracing intellectual curiosities or abstract pursuits, you sometimes neglect basic self-care, reducing your overall well-being. Also, something that I'm not really doing too much anymore. I've been really focusing on my well-being. In some cases, I could argue that I have, prioritized my well-being over like everything else, and no regrets there because I am living not because my well-being is more important than other people's well-beings, but like this is the body I am inhabiting. So for me to continue to be doing well, this body has to be doing well. It's body and it's mind. So important. Okay, so the next one is your relationships. In your relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or familiar, you bring that honesty and unique perspective. You value intellectual compatibility highly, often forming the strongest bonds with those who can engage you in stimulating conversation and appreciate your abstract thinking. Your logical approach to problem solving can be a valuable asset in relationships, helping to resolve conflicts rationally. However, your tendency to prioritize logic over emotion can sometimes create challenges in your relationships. You may struggle to understand and respond to others' emotional needs, potentially coming across as insensitive and detached. Learning to recognize and validate emotions, both your own and others, is crucial for building and maintaining meaningful connections. Balancing your need for independence with the independence required in close relationships is another important aspect of your relational growth. Something that I will say also that personal what are the most important relationships in my life? I'd probably say it's like my relationship with my parents, and on this regard we've been doing all very well, like both my parents and me. We've been doing well basically. I think we can communicate properly, we can kind of like sustain each other, we can give each other what we need, and we have a healthy, very well functioning relationship. So like, and that's kind of the thing, because that is as far as relationships go. Like, of course I have people who now they're important to me and I want them to keep on being in my life. It's just that yeah, and honestly, like I can finally fully admit that, like, yes, I care about these people and I want them to be in my life, and I will make an effort to make sure that they continue being in my life, instead of just being like, yeah, whatever, like if you're here, you're here. If you don't want to be here, the door is right there, which has historically been my attitude with a lot of like different people. It's like, either you're here and you'll meet me where I am at, or fuck you, like leave. That's not where I am at right now, thankfully, and that is really good. This shows, like, I guess, like the maturity I've been able to develop like throughout like the years, but also it kind of like it brings something to my life, which is the certain because for something to have value, like it has to, losing it, no longer having it has to kind of like pose a risk, right? Like it can pose a threat to no longer have that thing. So like there are interactions that I'm having. I don't think I'm having this interactions where I'm just like shutting people out, or shutting them down or whatever. But yeah, I don't know about this. The point is that like I have been able to have more interactions with people and to meet them where they are at, instead of like forcing them to meet me where I'm at, and just be like very nonchalant about the whole thing. When in fact nonchalant about, I mean, I think like that's the biggest growth that I've had, is that I'm no longer nonchalant about relationships and the people in my life. And but let me just move on, because I don't think I really wish you kind of like say what I wanted to say. But I'm reading this, and something that is coming to mind about this whole thing about maybe being a little too logical is that sometimes I kind of like I do the math on things in a relationship, and that's not really how emotions work, So it's like, for example, like, oh, you like me here, so I get just like you there, or like you like me there, so like do this math. So like, oh, you were not really available right here, so it's okay because right here in the future I'm not gonna be available. Not just like about bad things, about good things too, but just kind of like rationalizing some of like the things in your relationship. And it has kind of worked for me. It has not. I think it's important for the people around you to know who you are, where you are at mentally, like your limitations, your mental health status, basically. And with that, I think there's a lot of like more leniency. But also like since the last time I took this test, there's at least 2 or 3 more people in my life than I had then, and it's important for you to just meet people where they're at. And I found people who met me where I'm at, so I don't like, for example, texting or just maintaining contact. Maintaining like daily contact, that was something that it's not really great for me. I don't really like doing, so I just have to find people who kind of like are okay with that, basically. So I've been able to find people who I can can match me where I'm at, and also who I can even like grow into, because as I said, like there is this resistance from my part, or like even like texting. So I need somebody who I can try and text sometimes. Anyways, so influential traits: authenticity, loyalty, altruism, and emotional intelligence. And then the rest, there are your strengths and weaknesses. Okay, there's more for us to read. Traits. So your strengths: genuine honesty. Your preference for truthfulness creates trust, encouraging healthier, more sincere relationships with others, valuing individuality. You appreciate others as unique individuals with their perspectives and beliefs, allowing you to form bonds unrestricted by stereotypes. Thoughtful and attentive. You observe and remember details about those you care for, demonstrating sincere care. Sometimes I feel like this is really the case. I feel like I'm able to just pinch on something, and you can really see how it affects people, basically. Rich conversation. Your enthusiasm for meaningful discussion and exchange of ideas naturally depends on your bonds, stimulating stronger connections. Logical conflict resolution. Your rational approach helps resolve misunderstandings constructively, preserving harmony in relationships. Respectful boundaries. Your own need for space allows empathy for others' boundaries, creating mutual respect. Your weaknesses: emotionally distant. Intellectualizing emotions can unintentionally create distance in your relationships. Difficulty initiating connections. Waiting for others to lead socially can limit new bonds. I don't really like the way that was phrased. I like to lead socially. I just don't want to interact with people. Comfortable showing affection. Hesitating to express warmth leaves others uncertain of your true feelings. That is an interesting one, to keep in mind. Easily exhausted by socializing. Yes, interactions drain quickly, diminishing sustained engagement. Communication oversights. Focusing on facts rather than feelings can inadvertently upset others. I think I have a good grasp on this. I think I'm good at like picking people's emotions. What they mean from what they're saying. Of course, it can be frustrating to have to infer things, but I think that the people I brought into my life, they're also like pretty straightforward. They're not too passive or passive. I mean, passive aggressive is actually kind of better than passive, because at least like you're indicating that there's something. People when they're passive, like I don't no, there's an issue. Like, how am I supposed to know? Avoiding emotional discussions. Uneasy with strong emotions, you may withdraw rather than support others emotionally. Yeah, I do have a certain difficulty. But, it is what it is. Also people have them, and also like I think I sometimes, like, if you cannot really meet people at a certain point, you have to offer something, in exchange. So like, I cannot really do this with you, I can do this, and then you focus on doing this, which is what you can do, and then we all meet each other at where we're at and where we can, and then everybody is happy and fulfilled and feeling like those relationships are not exhausting and pointless. Okay, so that was it. So I am a logician, INTP, A for, because there's A that is assertive and then that is turbulent. I think that at least once I got the turbulent, but lately it's always been type A, INTP slash A, no slash dash, yeah, dash A. So it is, I don't know how many times I've taken this test, but it's been a lot, and it's always kind of the same, not kind of, it's always the same result. I really thought that this time around, like, something could change, but I think that they're assessing, the things that they're assessing are not the things that, like, I'm out here, trying to, because I'm trying to change, sometimes they're just like a personality. So when I'm trying to change, it's not really just my aspects of my personality, it is like the flaws, the shortcomings, like the unhealthy behaviors that I may have, and they kind of interact with this, but they're not ultimately defined by that. So I think that's that. INTPA, and yeah, not this, it's always this type. Anyways, bye.